it's Rich Tehrani here in the TMC newsroom. Thanks for watching. We are at Interop 2010 in Las Vegas. On our program today is John Antanaitis, who's with Polycom. John, how are you?
Good, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Well, your company's been up to a lot of things lately. One of the areas worth highlighting, I believe, is the recent positive earnings. Can you tell us about that?
Definitely. We had a killer first quarter and a great start to a new year. Record earnings for Polycom, but more significantly, I think, the fact that it indicates strong things about the whole space. And from our perspective, Q4 typically is a very strong quarter in this cycle, and then Q1 tends to soften a little bit, and we didn't see that at all this year. We had quarter-over-quarter growth from Q4 to Q1, so sequential growth, and year-over-year up over 20% in our voice business and in our video business and our infrastructure services, et cetera. So a very strong start to the new year.
And what are some of the areas of focus for your company going forward?
Well, we have three key focal points for our themes for 2010. It's around extending unified communications, speeding return on investment, and enhancing the user experience.
And I know that you've also been working on your partnerships as well in this space, right?
Definitely. So from our perspective, we're trying to be part of a solution for our customers. And when I say part of a solution, we realize that for us to focus on our areas of core competency is very important. So voice, video, infrastructure. And then we're going to partner with other leading suppliers or leading providers of unified communications. And we've started a partnership called the Polycom Open Collaboration Network. So we're working with other leading providers of unified communications, Avaya, BroadSoft, HP, IBM, Juniper, Siemens, Microsoft, and others to deliver, each from our area of core competency, the greatest total solution we can for our end users. And if we do that right, and that's what we're executing to, and that's what's driving these increased earnings, it gives our customers greater flexibility. It allows them to ensure that the investments that they're making are going to be protected for today and for the long haul. And it also provides them with a lot of flexibility so that they can choose best-of-breed components from these areas of core competency, from these different partners, and be ensured that we're working together to make sure that their end-to-end solution is the best total solution where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Now we've seen a whole bunch of companies in the video space get acquired recently.
Right.
How does that affect the industry, and does that just tell us that there's going to be continuing growth in video?
I definitely think that's true. I think it validates video really as part of the mission critical core communications, right? And bringing video and making video an element of the unified converged IP communications is what we're seeing take place with these acquisitions, right? And so you can go one of two ways. You can either try to acquire and create a complete end-to-end solution, or you can partner with leaders and leverage the hard core competencies from each of them to provide the greatest total solution. So that's why the Polycom Open Collaboration Network is important for us. But without a doubt, these acquisitions and the large companies that are engaging more deeply in video it really validates and has actually raised the water for all boats.
Now, as we are in I guess a recovering economy, companies are still cost conscious. I'm curious, could you focus a little bit on one of the products that we talked about earlier? There's an IP conference phone, right? Right.
So today or this week in our booth here at the event, we're going to focus on those three themes, and one of them being return on investment. There is a new CX, I apologize, unified communications. It was the area that the CX phones, I think was the phone. I'm losing it now.
It was under $1,000, right? It was under $1,000 phone.
Certainly. So, the great triangular speakerphone has legendary, history of quality and delivery. And historically, especially in an IP environment, there weren't many conference phones available. Certainly not under $1,000. So we've now launched the IP 5000, which brings that legendary performance of the Polycom triangular speakerphone into the IP realm, and its list price is at $599. So end users, I believe, are probably going to be seeing that at sub $500. So a real price performance breakthrough. Sorry about the confusion.
Oh no, that's quite all right. I mean, I think it's important to highlight that your company continues to put out better and better values.
Right. Another great example that you can see side by side demonstration in our booth is 264 high profile. So we're leveraging the high profile of the 264 standard instead of the baseline profile to reduce OpEx. You can actually slash your bandwidth by 50%.
Wow.
I think you see maybe a 5% reduction in quality, but you're getting that at a 50% cost reduction, right? So it's almost a 10-to-1 payback. So a real ROI, move forward for our HDX line of solutions and our infrastructure throughout the rest of 2010.
So what can we expect from Polycom? I know you talked about this year, but going forward, if you can look out a few years, what can we expect from the company?
Well, I think you're going to see more growth of this Polycom Open Collaboration Network, right? So, again, this week we're demonstrating things like our CX600, our new phone for Server 14 in a Microsoft environment. So you're going to see deeper integration, native integration. So you've heard a lot about interoperability. Integration is sharing DNA, right? And that's what this Polycom Open Collaboration Network allows us to do, is really co-develop with these different leading providers so that our solutions natively integrate. So you're going to see voice and video become natively integrated. It might be Polycom devices, but potentially in an Avaya call control platform with Microsoft business applications and things like the Polycom conferencing for Outlook, for instance, which we announced recently, which allows people to leverage the benefits of video natively in an Outlook Exchange folder. So if you open up a meeting invite, you click to add participants, you invite them to the meeting. You can also immediately add a video to that video session to that, as well as multi-point capabilities,
Wow.
recording, streaming content, etc. The best part is later when you go miss the meeting, potentially you go back to recall, you open your calendar event, and all the information, a link to the recordings there,
Wow.
the content that was shared is there, and it's
Very
all
powerful.
Outlook Exchange. Definitely native integration. So I think that's what you'll see more of as we move forward.
And it's really all about productivity, right? I mean, if you think about it, there's so many seemingly simple ideas like that are probably complex on the back end to execute, but for the user, it makes so much sense to have really a timeline of their conferences with a video in their Outlook calendar, so they can go back a month and see what they did.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. That productivity is key, and that ease of use. And whether it's ease of use inside the IT team for deployment management, provisioning, and ongoing carrot feeding of this converged network, or whether it's ease of use for the end user, you're going to see continued advancements. One other example that we're sharing this week here at the event is the Polycom Touch Control, and it's a device that eliminates the need for remote control. Right, so you now have it has a similar look. It has a similar interactive feel. It's gesture-based, like say an iPhone, that provides you with intelligent choices during a video session, so that you don't have to fear a remote control with too many buttons or worry about making a mistake. The right choices are presented to you, and it simplifies the user experience. So that's really, again, this productivity. How do you bring your work product into a meeting quickly and easily from a SharePoint site, for instance, and you can do a quick preview, push a button and share with the far side. That's real productivity versus trying to have to bring in a laptop computer and connect and potentially go through a user manual to learn how to do all this. You want very simple native integration for ease of use, and your adoption curve goes up and your productivity curve goes up.
Very exciting. Thanks again for coming on the program today. This is
my pleasure.
Really great.
Thank you.